Good afternoon, everybody. It is Friday. Happy Friday, December 2nd. This is your weekly recap. If you want to join us, click the link in the description below, smartoptiontrading.com, and come over and join us for $25 for your first 30 days. What's going on here in the market this week? Well, it's been a very, very interesting week. Market was stuck in this monotonous range and it waited on Powell. On Wednesday, Powell spoke at 1:30, and he basically pivoted for lack of anything else. He basically said that we cannot continue to raise rates like we are. We have to slow down. We do not want to hurt and destroy the economy. We did 144 million shares on that day. Over 100 million of them came after 1:30. That was big power. Pushed up yesterday. We failed at the downtrend. We'll go over that in a second. And today we had a hot non-farm payroll number, and it wasn't really the number of jobs that made it hot. It was the wage growth that made it hot. We pulled back, held the 8-day, and here we are back in the highs, and it took a long time today, but the market finally woke up as the internals were strong all day long. When you look at what's going on here, here's your high from the beginning of the year: one test, two tests, three tests, right? So we know now we have this well-defined downtrend, and that if we take it out, we can run. You have an uptrend here, the red line coming up, and the market's sitting here waiting to go. Here's what we also know next week. We know next week the Fed can't speak. The Fed is in lockdown now until the 14th, when they have their next Fed meeting, announce their decision. We know we have little to no economic data next week that's going to move the markets. So the market is free now for the next week to week and a half to say, hey, let's rally and let's go. And the market can definitely try to do that here. And I think that the market's going to try to take out this downtrend. And if it takes out this downtrend, my next, my move for December would be to come up here and to test this 432 area high. That would be where I would think we could try to go. A lot of people keep saying, well, what about a January soon? I don't know. Let's make money right now. We'll worry about January come January. Right now I'm working on the 2023 outperform names and what the risks are and what I think is going to play. So we'll worry about January as we get closer to it. All right, so not a bad week here. What was good this week? What wasn't good? It's kind of been a funky week. Apple got shellacked and then came back. A lot of bad news around Apple. This one continues to trade weaker than the markets and be a little tougher. If the market rolled over, I would think this is a little bit of a short, but right now it's suffering from what's going on in China. Amazon also has been a weaker name, hit the 21-day finally, but couldn't push through. Right, another one that if it could not hold and market rolled over, that would be one to look for short. Tesla's been all over the place this week, but is holding the 21-day for the first time now since, well, really all the way back up on September 21st. So keep Tesla on your radar. Maybe the sellers have finally been knocked out and is trying to move back up. The real strength in the market this week was in China names. And what's going on in China is China's having another massive COVID outbreak, if you guys aren't paying attention. But there are protests and there are signs that China is moving to get away from their zero COVID policy, as the people are just no longer standing for it. Yeah, that's going to cause problems of its own. It's probably going to cause a lot of sickness and a lot of deaths, but ultimately it'll mean that the supply chains stay open, and that's really what the market's looking for. So you have BABA with a huge move here, 200-day, your next target up there, 93 area. You've had JD running, Baidu running, PDD, right? All the China names have had a lot of strength this week, strong moves in those. NVIDIA is trying to break out. Yesterday got close, came back in, held the 8-day today. The 200-day there's a target. If the semis wake up, the semis are still weaker. Google's been trying to go, just couldn't quite finish that gap fill yesterday, gap down today, a little weaker. One of the stronger names in tech has been Microsoft. Look at this nice little tabletop you have. You can just go and put a cursor on that and say above 256, this is a buy. This one can run. Boeing continues to look like a great chart. Big move here late today on news that United Airlines is buying dozens of Dreamliners. And, overall, the market continues to look good. Now, here's the bad news, guys. I'm going away for the weekend. So, unfortunately, no charts this weekend. And if I do any, they'll be for members only and very quick. And probably no video again. I don't think I'll be back until late on Sunday, and I just don't know if I'm going to have much time. That said, I'm very bullish going into next week. I like how the market's set up here. If you'd like to join us, smartoptiontrading.com, link in the description below. I hope you guys all had a good week, and I'll catch you and the guys live in the room on Monday morning.